It all comes down to this, the ninth inning. Baulkham Hills in the top of the ninth need 2 runs to keep things alive. And for Baulkham Hills, they will come to the plate. Jacob Eunice, Jared Bylighter, Trent Schmutter. They are the 3 guys that have to get something going for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras in the top of the ninth. Wes Patterson still on the mound for the Blacktown Workers. He's been given the job of closing it down for the Workers. We're in readiness now for the ninth inning. First pitch from Patterson on its way in there for a called strike to start things off in the top of the ninth.
And Cam, I don't think the Workers have got too much in their pen, so I think the ball was well and truly thrown to Wes Patterson.
Well, I know they've got Grant Piccoli down there who hasn't thrown in this, and Shane Woodland, who we saw come out and not quite do himself justice in the inning of relief that he threw. But that's about it as far as relief goes down there, and so they'll be hoping that Patterson can get the job done and that they won't have to go to anybody else. Those guys are both warming up in the pen as we speak. But Patterson now with an 0-2 pitch to Eunice. Eunice lifts it out into centre field. Klemke flying forward. He won't get to it. It'll land in for a base hit. And aboard with a hit to centre field is Jacob Eunice. And the Kookaburras supporters all breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. They have a runner aboard. And now the tying run to the plate for the Kookaburras.
Yeah, that tying run to the plate also got a single to left field in the top of the 7th innings. Now we're in the top of the 8th. Bylighter will be ready to do just the same again. And at the back end of games, he's one of the guys down the back end of the order that tends to get those ones just over the back of the infield.
Yeah, he's not known for his power, but he has been doing a good job of finding holes. Jared Bylighter with the bat shows a running bunt. This could be a double play ball. Patterson to second to Lysart. Lysart across the first, not in time, but they will get the forced lead-off runner, Jacob Eunice. As Wes Patterson gets off the mound, that bunt was straight back at the mound by Jared Bylighter. He got it down, which is good, but he couldn't get it to one of the lines to put any real pressure on Wes Patterson. Patterson spun to second base to get Eunice on the 1-6. Lysart tried to get the throw over to Josh Dean to turn a double play. Not in time. Bylighter does run well. He will get aboard courtesy of the fielder's choice. And the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras will lose one of their 3 outs here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, big decision by Wes Patterson to go to second, and it was just Eunice not getting up there quick enough, even though he got what looked like a pretty good jump, but Wes Patterson just jumped into it. Michael Lysart waiting at the base to get the out.
Now back to the strength in the Baulkham Hills lineup, back to the top, and Trent Schmutter to the plate. Sees the first pitch from Patterson in there for a called strike.
Still alive here, Baulkham Hills. Don't doubt that. They are having a crack here. Trent Schmutter, the top of the order, as you said. They've got a runner at first. Tying run is represented at the plate.
So Trent Schmutter, 0-1. 1 out. Jared Bylighter at first base. Patterson to the plate. Curveball lifted into foul territory. Going after it, Josh Dean. Looks like it's going to be out of play. He's out of play by about 5 yards over the fence and down onto what we call the grassy knoll here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It's a grass till area just down the first base side of things where the youngsters can run around and throw a baseball around.
Don't forget you can get us on Twitter. The Twitter handle is @SummerOfBaseball. @SummerOfBaseball. If you want to send a message through about this game or the broadcast or baseball generally, send it through @SummerOfBaseball on Twitter.
So an 0-2 pitch from Patterson, ready to be delivered to Trent Schmutter. Bylighter at first. Big breaking pitch, misses upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Baulkham Hills have got the chant going. It ain't over till it's over. Charcoal still tuned in there up at Port Macquarie.
And the Blacktown Workers supporters, they are riding every pitch, looking for every out that they can get, hoping that they can secure the championship here tonight. Patterson settles on the mound. 1-2 pitch to the plate. Swung on and just foul tipped the very end of the bat. Getting on the ball, Trent Schmutter stays alive. The count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Of course, Blacktown Workers 2 outs away from winning this championship series.
Ground ball up the middle may do it. Turn a double play. What a way to finish. If they could get that happening, they would be over the moon ecstatic with the fact that they could wrap up the championship here tonight. So another 1-2 pitch about to be delivered to Schmutter. There it is, 1-2 pitch lifted into foul territory outside of the first base side. It's going to clear the grandstand. No, it's going to catch the last row of seats. Going to be collected up there by a young gentleman in it looks like a New South Wales representative baseball T-shirt.
It does. The two Blues. So the State League Baseball Championship Series in the balance right here in the top of the ninth innings. The SLB CS. Like those ones.
Patterson, another 1-2 pitch to the plate. Fastball misses way inside on Schmutter. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Trent Schmutter.
And he didn't take an inch backwards, Trent Schmutter. Stayed right in close on the edge of the batting box.
Wouldn't have minded at all if that would have just clipped him on the thigh on the way past. He'd have taken that walk and that would have been the tying run aboard for Baulkham Hills, but not to be. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count on Schmutter. Bylighter stands at first. 1 out, trailing by 2 in the top of the ninth. Broken batter's going to get over the head of Demario Thibodeau for a base hit, and that is all it will be. The bat is shattered in the hands of Trent Schmutter, but he has the power and the strength to be able to get it out into right field for the base hit. And that will put the tying run aboard for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras. Schmutter stands at first base. Bylighter advances to second base. And D'Antonio into the batter's box for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras.
That bat converted into toothpicks right there, left on home plate. And right in the middle meat of their order are the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras. We go to D'Antonio, Bennett, Edmonds, all coming up to bat. The next 3 hitters. There's
Bennett,
only 1 out.
Bennett
and there's
won't
2 runners on.
Bennett has been replaced.
Yep, thank you.
So we'll have to wait and see who the pinch hitter will be.
Bylighter with a set of wheels at second base. If anything gets through the infield, I reckon he'll be sent. D'Antonio,
of course, we have seen Trent D'Antonio hit any number of 3-run bombs in his Blue Sox career. And wouldn't Baulkham Hills love Trent D'Antonio to get hold of one here in the top of the ninth inning to give them an opportunity?
Aye.
And you'll also let Mr. Koo bat for himself, boys. We have seen him hit well.
D'Antonio chops it down the first base side. He's just going to get out of play, foul down that first base side.
Yeah, PMAC, the only time I've seen Dae-Sung Koo bat was playing for the New York Mets.
Really?
Yep.
He did a lot of work for the lower grade for both Marrickville and Baulko a couple of years back.
I can tell you that standing in the on-deck circle for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras looks like number 15 off the top. Might be number 5. In fact, it might be Josh Eaton, I think, down there in the on-deck circle. So it looks like Josh Eaton will be hitting in the 3-hole for Baulkham Hills. A 1-1 pitch to the plate. D'Antonio rips it foul down the first base line. Got plenty of it, but turned it around the corner foul. And the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Trent D'Antonio. There is 1 away. There are runners at first and second. And it is a 2-run lead to the Blacktown Workers, leading it 3-1 over the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras here in Game 2 of the State Baseball League Championship Series. If Blacktown win, they are champions. If Baulkham Hills can get out of it, they will come back tomorrow night with their opportunity. 1-2 pitch from Patterson is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on D'Antonio. So it just tightens up a little bit more. Where's Patterson doing a good job for Blacktown with the bat and in the field. Can he finish it off on the mound for the Blacktown Workers? He's looking for a ground ball up the middle. Lysart and Thibodeau playing at double play positions. The corners are a little bit deeper. The outfield is a little bit deeper as well. No doubles field pretty much set here for the Blacktown Workers. They were happy to give up a single to load the bases if D'Antonio gets onto one. They do not want to be giving up a run, and possibly with the tying run heading around a third. As D'Antonio fouls off another pitch, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can feel the tension here at Blacktown International Sports Park. The next pitch is line driven straight at Austin. Austin makes a double play, and Blacktown Workers will win the State Baseball League Championship. Jake Austin, who comes up with a little bit of an error earlier on in the innings, takes a line drive, whips the throw across to Thibodeau at second base. They turn a double play, and the Blacktown Workers are the champions. They embrace one another and pile stacks on the mill down in foul territory behind first base. They win the series 2-0, and the unlikely underdogs end up the champions. Baulkham Hills were red-hot favourites coming into this series, and the Blacktown Workers will win it in 2. And the Blacktown Workers, with a win of 3-1, will be your State Baseball League champions for season 2013-2014. What a great game and what a great performance by the Workers.
Yeah, it certainly was, Cam. And I can tell you the Baulkham Hills dugout absolutely stunned out there, and they are despondent. They put up a great series here, though, and it was a battle between two really strong clubs here in State League Baseball of New South Wales. And Baulkham Hills desperately wanted that first grade. It was not to be. And a line drive, very, very hard hit ball there by Trent D'Antonio. Absolutely ripped it down the line, but the one that got through Austin before was not going to happen again. I can tell you now, it was Jake Austin that took that line drive and then had the heads up to make sure that he got the out at second base on a charging Jared Baulkham, who just couldn't get back. He froze on the line drive, as you're supposed to. That's what everybody's trained to do. He froze on it, but it was still just too far down, and unfortunately Baulkham became the third out there. But what a great rip from D'Antonio, but a better catch there from Austin. So there is the game. They win the series 2-0. They won on Wednesday night. They won again tonight after a fierce thunderstorm went through during the under-18s game earlier this afternoon. And there are two great teams going across home plate, and both of them very appreciative of a very noisy crowd here. The Baulkham Hills players acknowledging the crowd and also acknowledging their Blacktown Workers opponents there. And there will be presentations here at home plate because it's been a very, very big win here for the Blacktown Workers. They weren't fancied at the start of the year, but they're certainly fancied as they got to the postseason. They took the lead in the regular season table. In the standings, they became the top only about 3 weeks out from the very end of the season before the last game. So they fought their way through. They battled all year. They climbed to the top of the ladder before the end of the regular season to get themselves into a prime position in the postseason. And there are some very ecstatic players out there. They worked for each other. They played for each other. And Baulkham Hills did all they could to stop the roll of the Blacktown Workers, but it certainly was not to be. And everybody going through, and all power to the coach as well, Clint Ramsey. Clint Ramsey doing an outstanding job for the Blacktown Workers. We're going to get some interviews. Stay with us. Don't hang up. Don't miss your cue here to watch this, because we've got some vision, and Big Cam is down on the sideline. He's going to get some interviews for us just as soon as he can. They're going straight out to centre field, the Blacktown Workers, and they want to get a photo in front of the scoreboard. So all the players from the dugout, the reserves, everybody off the bench, they've headed out to the left side. They will get in formation in front of the scoreboard, and they certainly want some recognition there. They want their photos taken in front of that scoreline, because they did win this game by 3-1. And it is Blacktown got their 3 runs off 9 hits and 2 errors on the scoreboard, and Baulkham Hills got 1 run off 8 hits and no errors. So lots of hits in the game, and I'll tell you what, lots of fly balls, lots of ground balls. Great pitching performances from Todd Grattan and Wes Patterson for the Workers, and also from Matthew Bennett and Dae Sung Koo from Baulkham Hills Kookaburras.